Ready or?
Your little device there. Ready? That's Stevie Wonder?
It's
Regular scheduled meeting of the Guam Educational Telecommunications Corporation. Today is August 4th, 2022. The time is 12:37 approximately. Please state your name as we go around the table. Donovan Brooks, Chair.
Joy Frankish, member.
Judy Flores, Secretary.
Mariflor Herrero, Treasurer.
Ina Carrillo, GM.
Lorraine Hernandez, Administrative Officer.
Thank you. You have the minutes of June 23 in front of you. We must immediately note the correction noted. Ina, where was that?
Chairman, if I could just make a correction.
Yep, please do that.
Under new business, item 1, on production staff, I misspoke in the last meeting when I mentioned that we would offer fringe benefits to additional production staff that were approved to be hired in the last board meeting. And these are for contract employees. So what is actually included in their medical, in their package is just medical and dental insurance and not any fringe. So I just want to strike the fringe.
So noted. Thank you. Any other comments or corrections on the minutes of June 23? So seeking a motion to approve the minutes of June 23.
I move to approve the minutes for June 23, 2022, pending any changes.
Second?
Second.
And just noting again that there was a correction. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Thank you. Mrs. Carrillo?
Okay, so for the my report this month, we will be hiring a new accounting clerk. Our previous one resigned effective 7/26, and I would like to go into maybe executive session if you'd like to talk about that.
Is there something
Actually,
that
there is something to talk about, so we should go into executive session and discuss that.
okay, can we wait until the executive session portion?
Yes.
All right.
The renovation and design, if you could please see the attached scope of work and the design for approval. So that is this one here with the EMSCO logo on the top. This is the quote that we got from our architects that have been working with DPW. DPW negotiated on our behalf. So just for the design, the drawings, it's all laid out here, but it's coming in at $170,000 for the design.
For 170?
Yes, for the renovation. I thought it was a bit high. I've emailed them. It was originally 177, and DPW negotiated down 7,000. So I have emailed and replied and asked them if this is kind of in line with what other clients are paying, or is this just like a result of inflation or what? I've asked, and so I'm waiting for a response. We did have a cabinet meeting this week, and I've asked some of my fellow cabinet. I asked fire department, GPD, DYA, and who was that other one? 4 or 5 of them. And I asked them if this was some kind of like normal rate that they could expect to pay, and they were like telling me that we're good to, they were saying yes, it is. So I'm waiting on the reply, because maybe we could negotiate further, but yep, it seems like it's going to cost us about $170,000 just to have a drawing design, and it's more than that. They're going to give us the scope of work, implementation, and I think they're also going to. You can see here they've really like mapped it out on.
But this is just the design and
No construction. Yes.
yes,
Yeah.
outrageously high.
Yeah.
What's the square footage that you were looking at?
Right now we're in 7,500 square feet. We look to get about another 800 to 1,000, because there's a room that GW doesn't have the key for. So we'd be in almost 9,000 square feet. But this is also to include a new carport. We're replacing the fencing, and they're doing really a lot of work. It's not just, changing up tiles and painting. We're reconfiguring the whole space to make it conducive to a creative space for like a modern TV station. So.
Are they also going to come back with, when they tell us,
So
are they going to tell us how much the construction is going to cost?
Yes, that's also in here too. So you could see here, I'll just kind of read out some of the, see there's a, they're gonna develop, so they will work on the initial and final design.
page is that?
I'm reading off of page 5. They're gonna prepare the basis of the design, and all the calculations, develop the cost estimate for the construction. And then if you look on page 1 of 4, that's kind of after there's the general scope of everything that needs to happen that we want. Yeah, to include reconfiguring all the spaces. They're going to add another bathroom, because they found that with the amount of staff we have, the bathrooms are insufficient. We only have 1 girl's bathroom. We need 2 or more, but that's what we're going to get. Put in a kitchen, so that involves plumbing. Not only that, when the station was built, we only had about, with CSG, maybe 15 employees, maybe, right? We're pushing 30. So you can imagine with additional air cons, with the lighting, new cameras and stuff like that, the power load is not something that our original power box can really handle. So this is also including rewiring and all new power infrastructure, everything.
Yeah.
For the whole building?
Yes.
Okay.
Installing new higher efficiency air conditioning to cool the whole building. Yeah.
Well, that sounds great. I'm
I was a little
fully in
sticker-
support of, that happening.
Yeah, I was a little sticker shock when I first saw it.
Mm-hmm.
And I think I've emailed them 3 times the same email, like, are you sure? Because I wasn't sure if my email was going through, but then as I'm talking to other directors, they're saying that that's in line with what they're paying. So I'm getting better with it.
Was there any interest in maybe even considering at any point any kind of solar energy?
Solar, yes. I'm looking at. I've already asked them to figure out how we can make our place more efficient, right? And so one of the thoughts are the garage here. We're going to make that, and we're going to add like a mezzanine, a second floor. So it's going to be two levels of working space for development and for programming. And then instead of the roll-up door, we're going to put a big window so that we don't really get to use lights in there. So and it'll be a focal architectural piece for the building. So that's kind of some of the plans. We're talking about putting windows higher so that we can have more natural light. We're just trying to be more efficient to reduce costs, and then even considering, depending on the cost, putting a whole new solar system on there. We're also building what do you call it? A park, what do you call it? A giraffe, a garage. Building another garage since we're taking the garage. And then I'm thinking about putting a solar system on there to support the building. So we're going to do what we can and make the most of what we can since we're doing the work now. We really just want to invest in the building and make it something that is
Upgradable.
yes, and sustainable. Yeah, efficient is the word. So we'll be working with the energy office for some tips, especially, and then also the architects are fully aware. So they've already were considering. They're doing the study now on whether we should use, wall units like this or central air or a duct kind of system. But it seems like this is probably going to be the way, so we can isolate what areas needs to be cool. But definitely we want to get more efficient equipment and more modern stuff, yes. But I think what's most important is we're upgrading the power system. Yeah.
Okay,
Oh, wait,
great.
that's it. So that's the renovation. The ASC renewal is up for renewal, our contract with them. But we're waiting kind of on the formal update or presentation. Lorraine's already emailed them so that they can come and present to us and let us know what are the major changes or anything in the policy before we renew. And then as far as administration, the interns, last day was last Friday. We hosted 8 interns this year. It was a lot of interns. I think originally we had 6, and then 2 of them wanted to come, and so we added 2 more, and they did so much work. They had fun with us. We even had one of the interns, they basically manned the on the go for Liberation. I don't know if you saw that. They were running around doing a lot of work for Liberation, but they did a island-wide beautification. They've done development work here. They did production work. They even produced a pretty lengthy video, maybe 15 minutes presentation. So I mean, I think they were. It was a good experience for them.
They enjoyed themselves.
Yes, yes, and they got to do all kinds of different work here, and they learned a lot, admin stuff, everything, production. So that was that, and we look forward to doing that again next year.
How many were there altogether?
8.
How many girls?
2 girls, yeah. But I think the girls were, they were good at admin stuff. They liked the admin stuff the most, I think. Yeah.
The ASC, is that insurance?
That's a 401k.
Yes.
The-
That's the station's 401k?
For private CSG.
Okay, all right,
Yes.
okay.
Under development, production and development staffs are they're currently working on these projects. So we have BSP Planning Symposium that's happening this month. It's a 2-day conference. Our team will be streaming and documenting the symposium, and then from there we'll be making like some 30-minute broadcasts for 30-minute programming for broadcast. Also, Liberation Parade, that was a huge success. I have the profit and loss statement, so you can take a look at that. We did have a debriefing meeting after Liberation with the whole staff, so we can figure out what we can do to improve, and I think that went pretty well too. So this is a profit and loss with all the different colors. You can see all the sponsorship. This is paid cash sponsorship that we got, $65,507.79, and I think that's the highest we've ever gotten. We have in-kind of about just short of 44,000. Our expenses were $23,998.91. So total net to station was $41,508.88.
That's cash, not in-kind?
That's cash. In-kind is about $43,595.
Sure, I see that. That's also terrific.
So total value for the station was at about $85,000. Great. Yeah.
After expenses?
After expenses, yes.
Excellent
So it
work.
was a pretty successful event. We're very happy with what we were able to produce, considering, you know, a lot of all the challenges that we were faced with Liberation, the rain, the parade was delayed, and also, we didn't have the ability to kind of read through the script and really digest it. And we really didn't have any pointers of what needed to be featured or not. So we just kind of winged it and did what we did best. And I think we did overall have decent coverage. We used our new cameras. And I don't know if you noticed or if you got to watch it, it was so clear, such great broadcast. There were some tweaks that we could have made, more parade, focusing on the parade, which we're going to do next year. But overall, we're pretty happy with how smoothly things went. That's Liberation. State of the Island broadcast, we did that. It's a standard thing that was really easy for us to broadcast. We broadcasted and streamed on YouTube. Also, we partnered with the Guam Medical Society to broadcast the gubernatorial debate. That we broadcast and stream as well. ACB commission. I needed the board approval for payment. So in the past, I guess ACB had been a station account and not commissionable because it was an annual kind of like recurring thing. But this last year, they put it up for bid, and we have Tina, who has been working with the GDOE for PBS University and ACB. And I wanted to pay the commissions because she had a really large part of the increase of contract that we were able to get. And then again this year, it looks like the contract will be doubled from $25,000 to $50,000, and that I think should be commissionable. She was the one who did the MOU. She's the one who has a relationship with GDOE. She's working the account and turning in all the, it's just, to me, a regular account, so I think it needs to be commissionable.
What is ACB commission again?
Academic Challenge Bowl? Yeah. So there was an MOU. There's an MOU attached here. This is the actual MOU with GDOE that Tina prepared. So I don't know. I just think it should be commissionable. To me, it's just like any other client. And if she didn't do the MOU, we wouldn't have had the contract. So if the board agrees.
Is that here the DOE's Office of Supply Management?
Yes,
Okay.
that's the MOU.
Where is that?
So,
Looks like that.
Oh, this thing?
yeah, that's the full MOU.
So
So the MOU went from about, I think it was like 18 to 20, and then now it's 25. So she was able to increase it a little bit. And then now, this coming one, this one that we're, for this year, it looks like it's going to be about 50,000, double.
Okay. So
I just need board approval.
you need a board approval to,
It's on new business.
what they say?
Oh, it's
what
on
is
new
this?
business?
So,
Is this
wait.
different from anything we've been doing?
Well, the amount is different, and to be honest, she's the one working the account. She's contacting them, she's scheduling all the,
But it's at that same, 15%?
yes.
mean,
I would just
we're
pay
not
it.
giving more.
No.
Production. It's a production.
Yeah, I would just, I'm just requesting for the board to pay it out as any other contract she would get for production, yeah. It's not anything special, I'm not asking for an increase or anything, it would just be the standard.
Excuse me, I just need clarification here. So PBS needs to pay to the ACB commission?
Well, PBS pays all of our development team commissions for any MOUs that they bring in. So there was a development associate that brought in the MOU, and I'm just requesting that we pay the commission out. It's part of their contract.
The reason why I just asked Ina to run it through the board is because it was never commissionable, because it's an in-house ACB and PBS show. So that's why I said, can you just ask the board for approval?
Yeah.
Because, It wasn't commissionable.
Wait, so,
But the way I see it is, she's the one putting the MOU together with GDOE. It's been, she replied to the request for quote. She's working with them to produce these 20-some episodes, scheduling with the schools and GDOE. It's a big project. So I think she should be it should be commissionable. She submitted the proposal, which became an MOU, and we're looking at getting a pretty higher MOU for next year, substantial increase.
I just have a question on point of order. Do we vote on it now, or should we address it in new business?
It's already scheduled in our new business, so we
Okay.
can go ahead and address it then.
Okay.
Okay.
As we move forward, he's asking you to speak to the issue.
Sorry.
Okay. Closer? Okay. I'll take off my mask too. In development, the second edition of the PBS Kids and Friends activity book was printed. That's this one here, the coloring book. I also have a profit and loss for this one somewhere.
No.
It's a single page.
okay.
This one here. So we have the profit and loss for the coloring activity book. It's not as lucrative as Liberation, but it is still a fundraising event for us. We don't print that many. We print 1,000 copies of the book. So we made $3,000. Expenses were $1,130. We netted about $1,870, and it's not too bad for a real quick run of a coloring book. We're doing several of these a year.
More than 50%.
Yeah.
That's okay.
Yeah, and so we're gonna do another one probably for the holidays, and then maybe Easter. We're doing like 3 or 4 of them a year, so it all adds up. Okay, and that's this. The Gala planning is underway. We have a tentative date of November 19th. And a tentative venue of the Hilton. So we've been doing site inspections all week of all the different ballrooms just to see if they're still functional or how are things after the pandemic.
But the Hilton doesn't have a space.
They have a room right next to the seafood.
That's
Yeah.
but that's kind of a small.
It's a small space. Our gala, I mean, we are hoping to, we're looking at a capacity of 150 to 200. And so what we've done is we visited the hotels. Of course, we have our hopes and dreams for certain hotels, but we really got to go by cost. And so when we got the quotes, we have about 5 or 6 quotes based on the specs that we gave. The Hilton and the Westin actually gave identical quotes. Everybody else was higher. The only difference is the Hilton has a stage, which we would be needing. So if we went with the Westin, we'd have to outsource the stage, which then would make it higher. So that's why we're going with the Hilton.
Okay.
Yeah. So it's still very tentative because we're still in the planning stages. We'll have more information in the next meeting, and then of course we'll need board approval for all the expenditures for the gala. And that's happening November 19th. And then UOG men's basketball fall season, that's in the works. We are working with UOG to broadcast and stream select games this fall. Hopefully the number will be 10 games. Development is underwriting the season, and we're finalizing negotiations with UOG right now. In engineering, we are requesting.
I'm
Yes.
sorry, I didn't, did we cover 7?
Number 7, yes, Buenos. I just wanted to throw this in because I know the chairman was championing the distracted driving campaign, and also I needed to update that. But we're going to be doing a full in-depth interview with Buenos on Monday morning. The interview's at 8:45, so that will probably this Monday. So it'll probably broadcast sometime that week on distracted driving. And then in addition, we have development working with DPW right now for a distracted driving campaign. I think it's going through procurement right now. So, and that's as a result of the chairman's meeting with the police department and with Tina.
Highway safety.
Highway safety, yes. So now DPW is working with development to work on a campaign for that. Okay, so with engineering, our chief engineer is requesting that we open up the technical resource assistant position. Oh, I needed to get the salary from you. It's a position that we've had before, and it was previously filled here at PBS through the CPB grant or with private funds. And then I would like to announce the position as soon as possible, if possible. So pretty much it's like an assistant to the engineer, which John needs. He needs a assistant. Hopefully, I'm thinking if we can hire within, that would be great. And then we'll have an MCO position open, which we can also recruit for. But yes, that department is lacking a little bit because we have one employee that has been on medical leave for quite some time, and so we have 3 people kind of covering that whole department, and it's pretty stretched thin.
Is that person going to come back?
Yes, right?
Next week.
Yeah, he had to have a surgery, and he's been in California. Our satellite transmitter needs. Oh wait, do I need to wait for anything? Or do I just need to inform the board? Oh, about that position. Okay, since we've already had it. The satellite transmitter station in Barrigada Heights needs an AC replacement. 2 of the 4 6-ton ductless wall-mounted units have not been operational. And we have been relying on 2 units, which were replaced in 2018. We just haven't replaced it because of cost. But we're in a position now to do it. So I'd like to replace the 2 that are not working and repair one of the 2 that are working. So I would like to get quotes for the replacement, and in the next meeting, hopefully we should have finalized quotes. But John Munoz is estimating at about $20,000 each unit. Yeah. It's, there's some really, it's our transmitter site. So there's like some very sensitive equipment that's running 24 hours and it generates a lot of heat. So, I mean, really that room has to be ice cold all day long, all night long.
Yep, I totally agree.
Yeah.
Bring us the quotes.
Yes, we will.
Okay.
Renovation, we talked about the renovation design. John Munoz is also working to improve GTA's internet services here at the station. GTA will be changing out the point-to-point and the standard internet feed that we receive here. According to GTA, they have to rebuild the whole entire path to alleviate our issues because we've had really unstable internet. And I think it's just because it's just old and it needs to be updated. So it's a long and overdue enhancement, and the carrier will be responsible for the expenses, and that's GTA. They're going to just do the upgrade for us. We're also holding, John is also going to hold a development training with Myers, our vendor for our ProTrack system, which is our programming software. There's a whole development module there that will help them with looking at their clients' affidavits and, looking at programming and stuff. So the vendor and John in conjunction will be training development on that. Also, I don't know if you noticed in the front door, there is the keypad lock. We upgraded that. So now there's the key, it's keyed entry. Staff have key codes to enter the building, and then if you don't have the code, you can just buzz in, and our receptionist will open the door for you. And I can explain in executive session. Also on Tuesday, my last item, I met with Sean Hufford he's the Executive Vice President of Content and Digital Services from American Public Broadcasting. I had met with Cheryl in Hawaii when I went to Hawaii, and she had referred me to Sean, so I met with him on Tuesday. regarding World Channel. He represents all of World Channel and Pacific Heartbeat, the syndication for Pacific Heartbeat. And so he pretty much granted access to us for Pacific Heartbeat to syndicate here as we like. So he's going to be sending me the links tomorrow, and then we'll be able to start broadcasting that programming if we like. And then there's a whole skew of programming with the World Channel, but it's there's costs associated with carrying that channel. So he actually wanted to charge for Pacific Heartbeat, but I was able just to get him to give that to us for free, and then think about the World Channel. So it's about $4,000. I'm going to look at it and see if there's anything interesting there for us.
Annual fee?
Yeah.
I mean, if there's something that you could
If there's some
turn
good
into a
programming.
revenue generator, then
Yeah. I really liked Pacific Heartbeat because it's kind of it's something that is that we can relate to, right? It's stories of all of the Pacific.
Regional.
Yeah, so Polynesia mostly, but some of Melanesia, maybe some of here, and we can contribute to that. So it's something that's relevant to our people and they can understand, right, or relate to. So I'm happy that we were able to syndicate, broadcast that, but we'll see. We'll look at the World Channel and see if there's anything there that might be interesting for us to carry here. I think that's all for me.
This that you were talking, the last thing is not here.
Yeah, I just wrote it down. I just wrote it down because I forgot I met with him
Okay.
this week, Tuesday.
okay,
Well,
questions?
I have a question, yeah. So regarding the ACB Commission, so the Department of Education pays us, right? It
Yes.
says here 25,000. And from that, we have to pay them back commission?
No, we pay it to our development staff that handles the. So it's like if you can consider development sales, this would be like a sales commission for a contract they have brought
So
in.
board approval for payment of commissions to
Our development staff,
the work for us.
handled the account. So it's, if you can think of it as media sales, right? Like for instance, KUAM, they have sales teams that sell TV and radio. When the salesperson brings in the TV contract, they get commission for the contract. So this is the same thing. Here we underwrite, we have development staff that underwrite programming, which just means they sell sponsorship. It's just a different terminology. So in order to underwrite contracts, we write MOUs and MOAs, memo of understanding, memo of agreement. And from those MOAs, they are commissionable for not only programming, but for production and for grants. And that's how we pay it. And it's all in their contract.
But these people who work for here, they still get paid from PBS.
Yes, they do. And they're also commissionable.
That's the commission.
Yes.
I see.
So they're commissionable on broadcast, that means airtime, commercial airtime, which we call underwriting, production, which is creative services, and grants. Yes, grant writing. So if they were able to obtain a grant, they would be commissionable to, yes.
And out of the 25,000 that PBS pays us, how much do we have to
What's
pay
the
on
production
commission?
rate, 10?
Production is 10%, underwriting is 15%. So if there's a breakdown on production, because it's production service, right?
Yeah, production service.
Is there underwriting?
It's 10.
Is it sponsored?
I mean, there is broadcast in there, but I think it would just be a production at 10.
Yeah.
So it's only 75% of
10.
the 25,000 for the
It's
station?
just,
I guess whatever is broken down to production,
yeah.
that would be a 10%, and then whatever for underwriting would be 15%. So, was there,
We really need to voice the
Sorry.
you,
Okay.
yeah. So it's 15% for underwriting, which is airtime.
Okay.
Then it's 10% for production service. So if there's a breakdown on that 25,000, then that's how we'll pay out the commission.
And
Okay.
then grants have their own separate.
And grant
commissionable
has,
rates, yeah.
it all depends on how much the grants is. They get percent 10, 5, and 1. Yeah.
Okay.
So we pay commissions on a regular basis to our sales staff, to our development staff. So this is not something different. It's just that in the past, my understanding is ACB contract has been considered in-house because it's been held so long by the station, right?
But I mean, on the same note, every year, well, every other year, I guess, we have we still have to bid for it, which means somebody has to do the work. They have to do the proposal. They have to manage the account, which is just like any other underwriting. So even if it is a house account, who's going to take care of it? You know, I feel like we pass it on to the development staff, let them take care of it, and they should be commissionable. To me, it's just like any other MOU. It's no different.
I'm fine with that.
Yeah. I don't want to do it. Just because I don't want to do that's a lot of work, and I'm already doing a lot of work.
No, that's your team. You got to take care of your team.
Yeah.
So, yeah, it looks like a big chunk, but then again,
Yeah. For TV, it's not that big. You know, I mean, we've paid like $80,000. I mean, our development team. Since I've started, we've gotten $80,000 contracts. We've got, you know, $300,000 contracts. Most recently with public health, 140 in production, 100 something in development. You know, EFS alone was $3 million, but that's not commission. That is a house account, but you know, thank gosh that's not commissionable. But you know, I mean, we are ARP. Maybe I should be commissionable.
Maybe you should be commissioned.
I'm okay. It's
all
okay. I don't
doing.
want, but it's okay. But I mean, I feel that when it comes to development, when they do the work, they should be paid and compensated for it. So, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I just want to make sure because,
Yeah, we're just being overly cautious
Yes,
here because
because we
it hasn't.
have
You know, there was a precedent that it wasn't. But to me, you know, even if it is a house account, and if somebody is doing the work, right, doing the proposal, getting an MOU, managing the account, invoicing, collect, you know, then it should be commissionable. Yeah.
okay. Do we need to have a motion because it's something that we already do? We're not making an exception,
well,
right?
yes, because if the auditor, you know.
I mean, it's in the minutes that we've discussed this, and that no one had any, you know.
I mean,
If you want us to make a motion, then we can do that.
If
Yeah.
there's no objections, I think it's okay.
Yeah.
because then
if
it's
you guys all agree,
confirmed.
then it's okay. I mean, you know, just to.
Or if you want to vote on
So
it.
does everybody understand what's happening?
If it's going to be commissionable now, moving forward, then okay, you know.
So it was not commissionable before, up to now.
Yeah, because it was a PBS and DOE program. So that's why, you know, I assigned a, can we just put it down because the auditor always asks for
Yeah.
that, ACB, you know, the DOE contracts, all these contracts coming from government of Guam, they always look into that.
Yeah.
So just to put it down that the board did approve it, that would be, you know, protecting us.
For me, I had nothing to do with it. I didn't do any of the proposals or any of it. So, I mean, I feel like the staff should get paid for it. They did the work. So maybe we could just vote on it just for safety. Since
I'd like to make the motion if I
Sure,
could.
please.
Yeah, to approve the commission payment to your development people for the
Academic challenge.
academic challenge bowl account
From Department of Education.
from the Department of Education.
I second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Motion carries. Thank you.
Oh, financials.
Okay, so, kind of went back there, but now we can move forward. Financial statements review. We've already looked at the 2022 Liberation Day balance sheet, which was a nice chunk of change for us at the end of the day there. The smaller fundraiser was $1,800, almost $1,900 into the station. I just keep seeing improvements in areas where we haven't, sorry?
I just printed out the balance sheet because July's not closed yet.
Okay,
Okay?
okay. So I just keep seeing improvements in areas that for years have lagged.
So just the balance sheet, we don't have income statement,
Profit and loss?
profit and loss?
No, because it's not closed.
They
And
haven't-
it's
they haven't
gonna-
closed.
It's going to make a big difference if I give you guys an unclosed statement.
Okay, so I think maybe we will look at it, because
Too early.
this is,
I was looking at this. Forgetting about that.
Well, I would move to accept it pending the balance sheet at the next meeting.
Any questions?
Sure, if you want to take another look at it at the next meeting, when we have the closed figures. And actually, our next meeting is going to be, is it going to be this month or is it going to be next month?
If you want to make, this is for August already.
Yeah, so we'll just keep moving forward. So we'll,
You don't get the balance in the bank statement until, second week of August.
and it's because we had, basically, this is last month's meeting that we're having early this month.
Yeah, so that's why we didn't close July.
Okay, well, as I say, what I'm seeing thus far is very positive.
It's what we have in the bank,
Okay.
true color.
If there are no other questions, we can just keep moving forward. Anybody?
I just have a question.
Sure.
But it's just for curiosity. So account receivables is 626,000. That's over $500,000, so.
Well, one of those invoices are for 600,000. So it's an invoice that we sent to Department of Public Health and Social Services in the amount of 600 for the balance of the grant, and I think it's right now sitting at DOA pending payment. So once that's and underwriting for July, which will be paid soon. So we're pretty current as far as receivables. It's just there's that one really big invoice that's kind of pending with DOA. So they will, we are in the process, we just,
Government of Guam, Department
Yeah.
of Administration, so we're going to get paid.
oh, yes.
All right,
yes.
well, I mean, I just see
It's a big number.
receivables.
Yeah.
But it's also a big invoice.
Dollars, and I'm thinking, wow.
Next month, our receivable is going to be 1.7 million, so just brace yourself.
All right, okay.
But if you look down to the bottom and you see, like our total current assets, we've never been in that position, ever. So,
Okay.
yeah.
I mean,
No, totally. To most people, having $600,000 in receivables would be a red flag.
anyway, yeah,
sure.
it's okay. I mean,
Okay, any other questions?
No.
Can we move forward? Thank you. So on old business, we're talking about the distracted driving initiative. I was happy to see that the station is going to do an interview with the Guam police guys on distracted driving. The reason I keep bringing this up is, it was our idea, so I feel some obligation to see it through. And I noted that I would just like to ask questions in terms of where are we in production and where are we in underwriting. I did note that the Department of Highway Safety is going to jump in with us I was hoping that we could maybe get Calvos or somebody like them, because I did talk to Paul, and he was positive about it, and that was a year ago. But if we could have somebody go back to him, I'd be happy. But is there anything other than that that's going on that you can
I know the
update us on?
The Department of Highway Safety was talking about doing a more consistent thing with us. So I think that the procurement, the market media package for them is something like 3 or 6 months, because they wanted to do more of a full-on campaign. I know we have tried to reach out to Mr. Calvo. I'll have development reach out again. The thing is with Public Safety, Department of Public Safety, what is it?
Highway Patrol.
Highway Patrol. They have really specific wants for their PSA campaign. So we're just gonna work with them and model the campaign however they like it. But it seems like, they're already pushing it through procurement. So as soon as we get word from them, then we'll be able to start with creative. As far as the station campaign, yes, I've engaged Buenos to do something. In addition, we can work with the private companies to put something together. Yeah.
I'd be happy to go back and sit with either Paul or I think one of the Schnabel
Maybe I can have
brothers. Just like
schedule something with you so we can.
sure, if I could have some more information than just going there and saying I'd like you to be our partner. If we had something concrete to offer them, that would be great.
And can our marketing people approach other insurance companies like Cassidy's or Alpha Insurance or anyone that sells cars insurance? I mean,
Sure, yeah.
the Calvos is very big and it's good to have them, but
I think that the chairman had met with
Paul.
at a function, and I think that's how this whole thing kind of started. But we're open to working with anybody.
Sure, yeah, anybody,
The Ad Council has some really great distracted driving ads that they put out for the general public, and we can create or localize the ad, or we could use their ads right out. We can just outright just download the ads, and those are made for public TV anyway. So there's those. Then again, we can localize it. So I think it really is just going to meet with the clients and see what it is that they like, so that we're not producing all kinds of spots. And we just get a feel for what is it they need or what they would like, especially those in that industry, and then we can go from there. But it seems like it's becoming more and more of a problem. So,
yes. I think that it would be really good to do something about the distracted driving. To avoid it.
Yeah, I like to see that, we kind of jumped on this early, and now it's becoming more and more talked about. So yeah, I think we made a good call. One other thing before we go to the renovation design plan, and that is, I just wanted to ask, we've brought this up in the past, and that was other than English, station identification. Do we have that going on?
we do. I've already tasked Don Munya to produce several different multilingual station IDs. I know he's just been busy with Liberation, and then also there was all the debates that were happening. So yes, I'll have something for you guys in the next meeting.
Great.
Yeah.
Okay, the renovation design plans. Are we going to have to?
I would like the opportunity to negotiate with I don't even know if it's possible, because I think DPW already negotiated with them, but I would like the opportunity to speak with the architects and see if it is, if we can renegotiate, because I think it's still a little bit high for us. But if not, and if the board would like to proceed, then I would ask that you approve up to this amount. That way, if there's a lower amount negotiated, then I could still just approve it.
I'd be happy to wait for you to go back and
Okay.
renegotiate and see what you can do.
Okay.
What would be a magic number for you at this point?
I mean, if the board, if the other directors are saying that this is a decent number, I would like to ask for like 130 and hopefully end at 150.
What, 150 what?
Yeah.
I mean, they're asking for 170, so if the board approves 170, but she can get it down to 150.
Oh, you mean the design?
Yeah.
Right.
I,
So she wants to go back and renegotiate to see if she could get it down.
yeah, I think that you should because
Yeah.
that's it. Just for the design, 170,000 is
Yeah.
maybe I am out of
Also,
tune of
Well,
how
it's the whole
things
building.
cost.
It is-
but-
It's the whole, this building and all.
and
the new
these
one.
guys are the professionals at this, you know, so together with DPW, and DPW didn't really have, I mean, they negotiated $7,000 off, and they felt that it was fair and sent it back to us. So, I mean, I'd like to talk to them just so that I can, just so that I can be reassured that this is going right. But, I mean, according to my fellow directors, they're saying go for it, because I'm lucky to even have someone bid for the project with, the manpower shortage right now. So, I mean, I want to try one more time, but I mean, we have to work with DPW to get this done, right? And DPW is the experts in this, and if this is what they're telling me, I believe it, but I would like to try to negotiate again.
Sure, do that.
I agree, yes.
I don't know, I haven't
You
built a
don't
house
lose
in a
anything for us.
decade, so I don't know.
You don't lose anything for asking.
Okay.
And I also would like to add there that in regards to what you just mentioned earlier, was that if we do decide to go ahead and go on with this number, that at least we're in that ballpark and that it wouldn't be any more, that the expense won't be added on to this, and that we're approving it for that amount, and that they'll have to really be forced to work within that number. And I think that will kind of give us a little bit more of a leverage on how we want to be able to do it. And if we were able to save along the way and they were able to give us another break, then I think that that's going to happen within the time frame and then the allotment. So I think that the 170 figure might be something that we can accept now and say, this is our benchmark, and that we're going to work within this price range, and that if there's going to be any room for discounts or whatever within the time frame, that would happen mostly and just remember, this is just for the planning of it,
Yeah.
just for the design, and that if we have a really good solid design, then at least we have a definitely sure plan moving forward when we start actually doing the renovation itself. So I think just being cautious about it and trying to get another discount at this point would be definitely a good idea if we can get that. But I think that the figure seems to be in the big structural planning of it, that we should be able to work within that, and I think it's reasonable, myself personally.
I'd like to also point out that in meeting with DPW, the plans that we have at the station that we were able to get even from land management is only for the original structure, which means it's the building, a little bit of the, not even the admin, but it's the garage area and programming and the head end, our control room. It doesn't even include any of this. So the plans that we have, our CAD drawings, we don't have this. So, I mean, we'll walk out with some official plans for the building. I tried to give them what we had, and it was like missing 75% of the building. So they're having to rebuild it all. Yeah.
Okay,
How did we build without plans? We
No, we
only had
cannot-
plans for the original structure, and somehow we extended, and
This
no plan.
this is GW's building.
Oh.
This belongs to, that's why we
I
have
don't
an
think GW
in-kind. Yeah,
I don't
this,
think they know. Oh, they do.
yeah. That's why it's given to
But
us
what about
just an
this?
in-kind. This one,
The
but that one
outside.
was built.
Yeah, there's no plans for that. No plans for development. No plans for production. There's we
So
don't,
this
we don't
whole thing
exist.
is plus that area. This was built
So
as
they're-
an in-kind.
They're gonna make it right, is what I'm saying. They're gonna give us
Okay.
normal plans. We're gonna go to land management, and we're going to record it, and we'll have a plan.
I have one more question. So after we agree to this price, I mean, if you can negotiate it better, if not, in this price is also included the management, like we have to hire the contractors to to build, to do the project, right? Are they going to
We have to go out
manage
for
it?
bid again, yeah, for
The
that.
contractor to do it is another bid.
Yeah, I know, but somebody has to manage the contractors to make sure that they follow.
That's DPW.
Yeah. DPW.
So, and is that extra fee, or is that included in the design?
No.
No, that's not included.
Design is just for
Just
the design.
Just the design.
And then once
The drawings.
DPW gets the design, then
And
they will
approvals.
put that out for bid, and then the contractors will come and inspect again based on the plans, give us a cost estimate or
So are we
proposal.
going to have to pay for that? Or
We
is-
have to pay for that also.
So extra, so.
Yeah, we'll have to pay for the ad to run to look for the
Because,
But DPW functions as the contractor manager.
yeah.
And do they charge us for that?
They haven't. No, I don't think so.
Yeah, so they're a government agency. I guess they just offer that service to us.
okay, well, that's
And
good,
they
because,
also make sure that all the, they do
Because
all the
you-
procurement and stuff like that. We just give them the open
Approvals.
PO for a print
They
ad.
do by, the steps.
Yeah.
They come over and inspect the steps
Yeah.
that it goes to.
Receive the quotes for the bids.
They do the bid, yeah.
Yeah.
So, yeah, we don't pay.
We have no
DPW.
say, I mean, not that we have no say, but as far as who is selected to do the design work or the construction work, that is all up to DPW. They will open up a bid, and hopefully construction companies will like to, bid on the project, and then they will invite me over for the unsealing of the bids, where they open up all of the bids and we look at it and they record all of it, and it's the lowest bidder. The lowest most complete bidder. Same process as kind of what we do, but for their industry.
Yeah, they do it first.
I wanted to just add as well that when you mentioned about how in the process of looking through and looking through at and giving us an analysis of what we have here with regards to the buildings, and how you're saying that some of the buildings are not included in the planning or the plans that they have presently, that in the process of our assets, are all of these buildings included, and then the things that are within it included in that, we have all of that accounted for in our assets, right? And that the buildings, although they're not showing up in the drawings or whatnot, that they are still included in our assets, right?
The land is the land, and this part of the building is. So every year when I think Cornerstone is the company that does our appraisal, they also give us an allowance for in-kind donation from the Department of Education for the value of the property and the value of the building
Okay.
that is donated, and it's not ours. Yeah.
Okay.
But we have a long-term MOU-ish lease with the GDOE. It's kind of our building already, right? So, yeah.
Thank you.
okay.
And all of that counts for NFFS, right? It's an in-kind donation to PBS, so that's all counted, and we report it to CSG.
Okay. Under new business, we already,
Yeah, we
Take care of
already-
that?
We already approved that.
right, okay. That's what I thought. Okay. Anything else that we've missed before we go to executive session? If nothing,
That's it.
then okay. We will take a temporary pause and go into executive session. Meeting for the Guam Educational Telecommunications Corporation. We are coming out of executive session. Our next meeting will be in September 15 at noon here at the station. Any other announcements? Anything? Anyone? Okay, in that case, I would ask for a motion to adjourn.
So I move that we adjourn.
Second?
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Thank you very much.
All right.
Okay.
Thank you, ladies and gentlemen.